on that aspect, again, we have to remember that the effectivity of the withdrawal of the Philippine government under the Rome Statute took effect last March of 2019. But the case was filed prior to its withdrawal. In other words, the International Criminal Court has already acquired jurisdiction over it. The investigation has already started, and the issuance of the warrant is legal and valid pursuant to the international rules. So having said that, the issuance of the warrant was of course issued, and it was coordinated with the Interpol, of which wherein the Philippine government is a party. And being a party, we have the obligation and we are duty-bound to have this warrant of arrest be implemented. And that is why the warrant, as issued.
Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update naman tayo ngayon. Vice President Sara Duterte nataranta na dahil siya na di umano ang isusunod na aarestuhin ng ICC o International Criminal Court. Pagkatapos nga inaresto ng ICC through Interpol si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, paglapag nito sa NAIA mula sa pagbisita sa Hong Kong noong nagdaang mga araw. At ito ay niyanig ang buong Pilipinas dahil sa biglang pagkaaresto kay PRRD. Binalaan ng ina si VP Sara na mag-ingat dahil siya na umano ang isusunod na aarestuhin ng ICC. Ngayong araw ay dumating si VP Sara sa The Hague, the Netherlands upang bisitahin ang ama na nakadetene sa detention facility ng ICC. At hindi napigilan ni VP Sara na maluha sa kalagayan ng kanyang ama. Inaantay na rin sa ngayon ang desisyon ng Supreme Court hinggil sa mga petisyon na inihain ng mga abogado at mga anak ni PRRD para sa writ of habeas corpus at TRO or Temporary Restraining Order ng gobyerno sa dating Pangulo. Inaasahan na ilalabas ang desisyon ng Supreme Court ngayong araw o bukas. Sa kaugnay na balita ngayong araw ay harap na sa unang pagkakataon sa courtroom ng ICC si PRRD sa Hague, the Netherlands para sa unang hearing. Humiling si former president na tatayong legal officer niya ang kanyang former presidential executive secretary at kaibigan na si Attorney Salvador Medialdia na siya rin kasama nito na pumunta sa The Hague, the Netherlands. Sa kabila ng mga malawakang pambabatikos ngayon sa gobyerno ay nanindigan ang administrasyon na walang nilabag na batas ang Pangulo at PNP sa pagka-aresto ng Interpol kay dating Pangulong Duterte.
Wala po kasi tayong jurisdiction sa anumang gagawin po ng ICC. Sa kanilang mga procedures, wala pong jurisdiction. At after natin dala po ang dating Pangulo sa ICC, wala na po kamay o responsibilidad ang gobyerno kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Pero, base po sa RA 9851, bilang Pilipino, hindi lang dahil bilang dating Pangulo, si dating Pangulong Duterte, kailanganin din po natin ng gobyerno na ma-assure po, masigurado natin na nagkakaroon po ng fair trial. Lalong-lalo na po, Pilipino po ang dating Pangulong Duterte.
Okay, pero lahat po ng mga gastusin, like for example, for legal counsel and all, private capacity na po yun ni former president. Sa kanya dapat manggaling yun?
Opo. Kahit nga po sa mga complainants, hindi rin po yan talaga sagot ng gobyerno dahil may kanya-kanya po silang mga abogado at sabi nga po natin, wala po tayong responsibilidad or wala tayong hand over the ICC proceedings.
Last question na lang po, Yusek. Si former Senator Trillanes, sinabi niya po in one of his interviews na there could be seize order coming from the ICC sa mga Duterte assets while the trial or the investigation is ongoing. If maglabas po ang ICC ng ganong klaseng order to freeze the assets of the former president, will the government comply on that particular order?
Kung meron naman po tayong batas at inaalaw po tayo, ipakita lamang po nila, tayo po'y magkukomply dahil lagi po, sinasabi natin, lahat po ng gagawin natin dito ay dapat lamang base sa batas.
Okay, next question po. Eden Santos, Net 25.
Yes, good morning po. Sabi po, the Office of the President said it paid for the private jet that brought former President Rodrigo Duterte to The Hague or The Hague. Paano ba bigkasin yun? The Hague. Maybe, Do you confirm po itong statement na to na ang Office of the President ang gumastos po dun sa pag-fly kay former President Duterte using a private, is it a jet plane or yung pong ginamit na last na?
Opo, ina-admit po na ang palasyo po, ang nagbayad, ang gobyerno po. Ito po ay may kaugnayan sa assistance po na ibinigay natin sa Interpol. So, sabi nga natin, kapag hiningi po ang assistance, siyempre po dapat kumpleto po. Dahil kung wala naman po na ipoprovide na sasakyan para madala po ang dating Pangulo sa ICC, parang hindi rin po naging kumpleto ang pagtugon natin sa ating commitment to the Interpol.
Magkano po yung kung meron na tayong estimate na ginastos dun sa pag-travel po kay FPRRD?
Wala po tayong kompletong detalye about that. At maaari po siguro ay hindi ko agad masasabi kung meron man po dahil meron pong kaugnayan ito sa isang pribadong korporasyon.
Yesterday po, medyo hindi kasi ako nakadalo dun sa briefing. Naikwento po nung ating mga officer from the PNP, CIDG, na yung ginawa pong pag-aresto kay FPRRD, yung naging attitude po nung mga pamilya na nagwala, parang gano'n, nagsisigaw, nagmura. Yung po bang ganong attitude, ay is it normal or sa tingin nyo hindi po?
Normal lang sumigaw at magmura? Pamilya po yun Hindi po natin mawawala na gano'n na maging damdamin. Pero since ito naman po ay matagal nang pinag-uusapan at aminado naman po ang dating Pangulong Duterte na may kaso naman po sa ICC. At nabanggit nga rin po niya sa kanyang talumpati sa Hong Kong na meron siya nadidinig na warrant of arrest. Pati nga po si Senator Bato, inamin niya na mayroon. Kaya hindi siya sumama sa Hong Kong. So, normal ang magkaroon ng ganong klaseng damdamin. Pero siguro dapat malaman din po natin lahat kung hanggang saan yung hangganan. Kung hanggang kailan pwedeng mag-react sa kapulisan. Kung ginagawa ang tama, nandoon ang mga dokumento, tingin ko dapat sumunod din tayo po sa batas. Iba po kasing sitwasyon na hinuli ka, pero wala kang ginawa, hindi ka caught in the act, or walang warrant of arrest. Pero dito po lahat ay naipakita. May warrant of arrest, nandiyan po ang Interpol. So, siguro mas maganda po kung naging kalmado rin ang mga kamag-anak po ni dating Pangulong Duterte.
So you're saying, sinasabi niyo po ba yan dahil based on your own experience din po dun sa nangyari sa kliyente ninyo, parang sort of ganon?
Okay, sasagutin kita dyan. Unang-una, nalaman nyo ba kung ano yung totoong kwento? Yung aking kliyente, this is so too personal na pag-usapan dito, but I will explain. Yung ating naging kliyente doon, hinuli, again, uulitin ko, di ko po alam kung nandito kayo nun. Hinuli ng walang warrant of arrest, walang kaso, at hindi man lang sinabihan yung kliyente ko ng nature of the case. Ang sabi, confidential. What should the counsel react? And how would the counsel react on that? This situation of the former President Duterte, it's different from the case that I handled. There were violations committed by the police officers during that time, that's 2015. But in this case, all the documents, all the legalities, nobody can question that. Except maybe if they can use that for as a defense in their case.
Thank you.
Next question, Maricel Halili, TV5.
Magandang umaga po. Ma'am, follow-up lang dun kay Senator Bato. Ano po yung nakikita natin na scenario once na nirelease na rin yung arrest warrant against kay Senator Bato de la Rosa? Pareho din po ba yung assistance na ibibigay ng government?
Sa
Sa
Interpol?
Interpol?
Pareho pa rin po. Hindi po kasi tayo pwedeng mamili. Kung ito po ay ginawa po at nakipag-coordinate, makipagtulungan tayo sa Interpol dahil ang dating Pangulo po ang subject po ng warrant of arrest, hindi po tayo pwedeng mamili. Wala pong pwedeng special treatment. So kung mangyayari po to sa iba pang mga suspect na may warrant of arrest. Basta valid po yung warrant of arrest at ito po ay na-course through the Interpol, gagawin pa rin po natin kung ano po yung dapat gawin ng gobyerno.
Pero what will happen po? Kasi I understand Senator Bato de la Rosa has already talked to Senate President Chis Escudero and he asked for the protection of the Senate. So paano pong magiging senaryo doon kung may kausap siya sa Senado?
Hindi ko po alam kung ano magiging sagot ni Senate President patungkol dyan, hanggang saan yung protection na kanya maibibigay. Kung may warrant of arrest, abogado naman po si Senate President. Alam naman po niya kung ito'y valid at pwede niya po na ikumpirma kung valid ang warrant of arrest. Hindi naman po niya siguro ikakalong at itatago ang masasabing suspect sa isang international criminal court.
Ma'am, last na lang po. Yesterday, Senator Bato de la Rosa mentioned that clearly it was a demolition job against him. Pero parang nag-benefit pa siya dun sa demolition job kasi tumaas daw yung kanyang survey sa Pulse Asia. Your reaction on that?
Paano po magiging demolition job kung ito pong kasong to ay na-file na? Hindi pa po panahon ng eleksyon, hindi pa po panahon ni Pangulong Marcos. Ito po, naisampa po yata to kung di ako nagkakamali taong 2017. Matagal na nga po Dapat noon pa po. Di ba kung ito po ay hindi po nag-withdraw at alam naman po natin ang dahilan kung bakit nag-withdraw ang dating Pangulong Duterte dito sa Rome Statute. Siguro po, pag-usapan din po natin yung mga di umanong biktima. Hindi puro dapat sa kanila lang nakatuon ang atensyon ng tao. Hindi napapansin sa ngayon ano ang naranasan ng mga biktima. Ano ang naranasan ng mga pamilya na naiwan ng kanilang mga kamag-anak na naging di umanong biktima ng EJK. Bakit ngayon ang mga Pilipino hindi na nakikita yung mga namatay? Bakit na pagtutuunan natin ng pansin yung pinagbibintangan na pumatay at nagpapatay? Bakit parang nag-glorify pa natin sa ngayon? Yun ang naaakusahan ng murder and crimes against humanity. Sana po ang taong bayan, buksan naman nila yung isip. Tingnan po nila, ano ang naramdaman ng mga tao, ng pamilya na naging biktima ng EJK.
Sorry, how far are we from achieving justice for those victims?
Doon po sa ICC,
EJK.
ng EJK. Sa ngayon po, alam ko po may mga naka-pending po na complaints. Pero ayun nga po, kay SOJ Remulla, yung mga complaints naman po, kung di ako nagkakamali, yung complaints po sa ICC, ay hindi naman po yan itatouch. So most probably, para hindi po magkaroon ng overlapping ng cases at para hindi masabi namin magkaroon ng double jeopardy in the future. So, tignan po natin at tatanungin ko po rin si SOJ patungkol sa mga pending cases patungkol po dyan.
Next question, Annalisa Berano, Bomboradio.
Yusek, good morning. Kahapon po itinanggi na ng Armed Forces of the Philippines and PNP na walang sundalo, pulis ang nag-resign sa service bilang suporta kay dating Pangulo. Alam po ba ito ni Presidente at ano po ang kanyang reaksyon? Sa tingin niyo po ba ano ang motibo ng mga nagpapakalat nito at saan po ito nanggaling? Thank you.
Marami po nagpapakalat ng iba't ibang kwento na wala pong katotohanan. Sa ating pong paningin, ang pagkakalat po ng mga gintong klaseng kwento ay para po mas lumaki ang simpatya sa dating Pangulong Duterte. Pero tandaan po natin, sabi nga po natin, ang mga taong bayan, sana po imulat nyo ang inyong mga mata. Tingnan nyo po kung ano ba talaga yung katotohanan. Muli, wag natin iwan yung issue ng extrajudicial killings. Meron pong mga namatay. Meron pong mga nagrereklamo. At ang mga nagrereklamong ito ay noong pa po 2017. Hindi po ito sa panahon ni Pangulong Marcos. Okay. Sa mga nag-resign, wala pong katotohanan. Ayon po kay General Fajardo, wala pong katotohanan na may nag-resign. Kung ito man po ay may kaugnayan sa pag-surrender ng gobyerno kay dating Pangulong Duterte sa ICC through the Interpol, wala pong nagre-resign ayon po kay General Fajardo. Kung wala pong nagre-resign, mas maganda po, di masaya po siya.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next
Wala
question.
po, loyalty check, wala po. Dahil kampante po ang Pangulo na ang ginawa po naman ng administrasyon ay naaayon sa batas.
Next question, Ivan Mayrina.
National community expects of us as the leader of a democratic country that is part of the community of nations. So I'm sure that the details that surround this what has happened today are familiar to you. I just wanted to make very, very clear and give you the facts from for the departure of former President Duterte from the Philippines. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Kanina po ay nagpaabot ng tanong ang mga miyembro ng Malacanang Press Corps at atin po itong sasagutin. Question number 1. Mr. President, meron po bang pisikal na kopya ng warrant of arrest laban kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte mula sa ICC?
Oh, meron. This came in. Actually, it came in. I received it from Secretary Remulla. I received it at 3 a.m. last night, and I looked at it, and we went back and forth. 6:30, he wrote me again, and he said, "We have it already. We have the warrant of arrest from Interpol." And I said, "Okay, we'll put all our plans into place, and sige, let's proceed as we had discussed." Now that's what's happened. So yes, there is a very clear document that will explain that will explain the basis on how we conducted this arrest of former President Duterte.
We will provide the PCO with a digital copy. It has been attested by the Secretary of Justice and the Department of Justice as a lawful and legal warrant. We will publish it after this press conference, and you can use it as reference.
These are, it's very simple. It's a request to the Philippine government from Interpol to enforce the arrest warrant. And of course, we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived from or it came from ICC. We did this because Interpol asked us to do it, and we have commitments to them, and we lived up to those commitments.
Sir, thank you, sir. Second question, sir. Mr. President, sinasabi ng kampo ni PRRD na unlawful arrest daw itong ginawang pag-aresto sa kanya.
Well, we followed every single necessary procedure. We had a very good basis on which to serve that warrant and to read him his rights. We followed all the legal procedures that are necessary. So I'm confident that if in further examination, you will find that it is proper and correct.
Sir, third question from the MPC. Mr. President, may violation ba ito sa ating soberanya itong pagkaka-aresto kay dating Pangulong Duterte?
No. Bakit naman? Dahil consistent naman tayo. Hindi tayo tumutulong sa investigasyon ng ICC. Wala tayong meron tayong contact sa kanila, natural. Pero no, not on an official level. We didn't help them in any way. The arrest that we did today was in compliance with our commitments to Interpol. It just so happened that came from ICC. But it's not because it came from ICC. It's because it came from Interpol.
Pang-apat po na tanong, Mr. President, sinasabi po nila na ito ay political persecution lamang at may kaugnayan din daw sa 2028 elections.
2017, when we were still members of the ICC, and it was during the time of former President Duterte. So I don't see how that can be political persecution on my part, because it was initiated before I even came into the picture. So would seem. But once again, we have to recognize that, of course, it's natural for people to put lalagyan ng politika, kulay ng politika. Pero sinundan lang natin Interpol. Wala hindi natin kinakausap yung ICC. Marami silang hinihingi sa atin ng mga dokumento, wala kaming binigay. Yun lamang, hindi natin mahindian ng Interpol. Pag sinabi sa atin, tulungan nyo kami, kailangan namin kunin itong taong ito. Dahil kung maalala ninyo, lahat ng mga tumakas dito sa Pilipinas, kagaya ni Alice Go, kagaya ni Arnie Tevez, kung sino-sino pa, pati naman yung mga human trafficking sa Myanmar, pati sa mga madadamay. Sinong tumulong sa atin para makita natin yung mga ating kababayan na inaapi at ginagamit sa masamang paraan? Ang Interpol. Kaya naman, dapat naman tayo, pagka sinabi sa atin, tulungan nyo kami sa ganito, tumulong kayo. Kaya naman, ganun ang ginawa natin.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President, sa paglilinaw ninyo.
In fact, as we speak, protest action is ongoing. Would you like to address the supporters of the former president?
The supporters of the former president? Well, again, the government is just doing its job. Wala namang, it's not because it's one person or another that we do the things that we do. Maybe nung mga nakaraan ng mga administrasyon, baka ganun ang ginagawa. Pero para sa akin, hindi naman ganun. Sumusunod tayo sa batas. We are a member of the community of nations. We must live up to our responsibilities, to the commitments that we have made to the community of nations. And that is what's happened here. Politics doesn't enter into it. Bakit? Why he's never going to be a candidate for anything. Why go after him? Di ba? At saka 2017 pa ito, wala pa ako. Civilian pa ako nun. So, this is the evolution of his case. And this is where we end up. Yeah. All right?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thanks.
This is what...
Hapon po. Attorney Jill Bungalon, sir, will you please enlighten us, non-lawyers, regarding doon sa contention ng legal panel ni former President Duterte. Kaya sila nag-file ng petition for certiorari and TRO and now habeas corpus sa Supreme Court na nagkaroon daw ng procedural lapses doon sa execution ng arrest warrant from ICC kasi supposed to be daw, even Senator Cayetano, sinabi niya na yung arrest warrant ay dapat i-validate pa ng local competent court before na i-execute.
Okay. With respect to that issue, I haven't read their petition, petition for certiorari and the petition for writ of habeas corpus. But, well, I assume that their contention is that there were procedural lapses in the implementation of the warrant, number one, because according to them, probably the Philippines should not recognize that warrant, because we are no longer a party or a member under the Rome Statute. So, yun yung sinasabi nila. Well, my understanding of this issue is that the warrant of arrest was validly issued by the International Tribunal, particularly the ICC. And although the Philippines is not a member, is no longer a member of the Rome Statute, but the warrant of arrest was coursed through the Interpol, of which our country, the Philippines, is a long-time member of this organization. And under that, we are duty-bound, we are under-obligated to effect and implement the warrant. So, being a member, meron ho tayong obligasyon na through our Philippine National Police or the law enforcement agencies to implement and effect the warrant. So ginawa lang naman ng ating pong gobyerno yung kanilang trabaho na with the issuance of the warrant of arrest, kailangan nila po yun i-serve kay Pangulong Duterte. At yung sa petition for writ of habeas corpus, of course, they really want the body of President Duterte to be returned in this country. But I guess it should be a matter that the Supreme Court should decide. And also, there are legal remedies available on the part of the respondent, on the part of President Duterte. So probably they can file a motion or a petition with the ICC, considering that in a few hours, of course, the president will be turned over to the authorities of the ICC, which has the jurisdiction over the case. And yun po yung mga kailangan natin abangan, ano? And again, as mentioned nga, this is unprecedented. Hindi pa to nangyari before eh. And that is why, well, once and for all, for the Supreme Court to decide with respect to that issue, no, regarding that procedural lapses. And of course, hindi yung fact na kailangan po i-validate, you know, by being a member of the Interpol, of course, as part of the global community, we should cooperate with respect to transnational crimes like terrorism, cyber crimes, hijacking, human trafficking. So these are crimes that are being committed across the country. For instance, let me illustrate. What if a particular individual, a foreign individual, committed a serious crime, for instance, crimes against humanity, in a particular foreign country, at yung akusadong yon lumipad dito sa ating bansa, to seek, probably para makapag-evade ng justice, para magtago, and the ICC issued a warrant, for that arrest of that particular person. So, ano bang gusto mong ibig sabihin? Hindi ba kikibo ang ating pong bansa na hulihin ang isang individual na gumawa ng isang seryosong krimen sa ibang bansa? So, magiging pangit ang implikasyon nito. Baka isipin ng mga mamamayan o na ibang mga neighboring countries na baka magiging safe haven for criminals itong ating bansa if we will not comply with our obligation under Interpol. So again, we have to respect the legal process. We have to trust the legal process. So yun po yung aking komento patungkol po dyan.
Another question, Attorney Jill, regarding impeachment. Sir, can you confirm na based on the information from the Senate, na supposed to be this day, magkakaroon kayo ng ocular inspection mismo doon sa nire-request nyo na room assignment, pero pinospone daw kasi this afternoon magmi-meeting uli ang prosecution panel regarding the next move on the impeachment against the Vice President after the arrest of former President Duterte.
Well, probably an official request was already sent to the Senate, for us to asking the Senate, through the Senate President, na bigyan po kami ng isang kwarto, in anticipation for the trial, wherein doon ho kami tutuloy at doon yung mga paghahanda na gagawin namin